Boston's wealthy elite outraged over new shelter for illegal immigrants in their neighborhood. Not in my backyard. I just wanted to virtue signal and look like a good person. I didn't want to actually do anything. You're literally ruining my life. How dare you? The residents of Fort Point in the seaport couldn't fathom living amongst illegal immigrants in the Democrat-run sanctuary shitty they voted for. Yeah, it was those filthy porgs that were supposed to deal with this problem, not us. The Boston residents living in one of the shitty's most expensive neighborhoods are outraged over the shitty turning an office building into an emergency shelter for illegal immigrants. The Boston elite expressed severe grievances about the decision at a community meeting on Tuesday evening, yet state officials had no answers for them. Residents of Fort Point in the seaport couldn't stomach the idea of illegal immigrants living among them in the sanctuary city. Maybe you should vote correctly next time, I guess. So the upscale town of Seaport in Boston is turning an office building into a shelter to house illegals. Residents are fuming. So Brandon won Massachusetts by 33 points. Brandon won Boston by 67 points. That's a big deal. Democrats turned Boston into a sanctuary city. Elections have consequences. Yeah. And up until now, it's only been us plebs that were suffering the consequences for what the elite were doing. Now we're going to make them experience even a fraction of what we've been going through. Yeah, time to pay up, man. Put that money where your mouth is. So one of the greatest concerns were safety and security, which have been raised in sanctuary cities across the U.S. Well, there's a solution to that, but you're not willing to do it yet, are you? Brian Curley, a resident in the community, told WBZ TV state officials to not give a voice to the community before making this decision. Oh, right. So I bet you'd have no problem with it, though, if they were to put it into some poor people's community, right? Don't care about them getting a voice. Why would you give a voice to racist bigots that don't want to help their fellow man? Am I right? So I think there's a lot of angry residents who feel the same way I do about this being forced on us, said Curley. Yeah, it's not as fun when someone's forcing something on you, is it? Yeah, you're used to you guys forcing your views on everyone else, but when it comes back to bite you, it's not funny anymore, huh? Now you don't like it as much anymore, huh? Now, the office space owned by the Unitarian Universalist Association will house 80 illegal immigrants once it's officially morphed into an overflow shelter. The site of the shelter is located at 24 Farnsworth Street. United Way of Massachusetts Bay, a nonprofit that the state has selected to open temporary shelters for migrant and homeless families, plans to get the new shelter up and running as soon as possible, said Governor Maura Healey. We're working through all that, Healey told reporters, declining to give an exact date as to when these illegal families will move in. So I just don't know how long it's going to take to get everything operationalized and work things out with the community, work things out with the shitty. How about this? If you voted for this, you get it. If you could prove, like, no, if you show up in a fucking MAGA hat or something and say, I didn't vote for this shit, okay, you don't have to participate. Although United Way ultimately selected the site, the governor stated that her administration supports the space's use because we need to continue to find safe housing for people. Yeah, and all these rich virtue signalers can now finally put their money where their mouth is and show how much they care. And we continue to be in dialogue with the community and with the shitty. However, community residents have said officials gave them no answers in the meeting on Tuesday evening. Officials informed the residents that there would be another meeting Friday, and they hope to have more answers then. Now, how is it a done deal when you can't answer these questions? A resident said. Well, are you starting to realize that your opinion doesn't matter? Yeah, no, it's not that we can't answer those questions. It's just not worth answering them to you. No, Curley added there was a lot of questions tonight and not a lot of answers. General Scott Rice, a state official who's overseeing security at his migrant shelter, has vowed to keep the community safe. Our track record has been very good, said Rice. We have very, very, very few incidents. So if you used to have 0 incidents and now you have 10, it's still very, very few. Why you bitching? The one Whammon's asked in the meeting, how are you going to ensure we're safe? I don't know, man. How do you think other communities were expected to ensure they were safe when you were voting for this to happen to other people? Well, why don't you ask yourself that? So I would like to see a little bit more compassion. That's my point of view. Another man interjected. Yeah, no, that's what I'd like to know. I would like to see a lot more compassion from you racist bigots. Like, you just don't want those people in your neighborhood because they're brown, right? Fucking racists. Only racists would oppose this. The outrage comes amid a historic crisis at the U.S. southern border with 7.3 million illegal immigrants entering the country since Brandon took office. I mean, didn't there only used to be like 11 million total? Oh, God. So last week, ICE arrested a 34-year-old Guatemalan illegal immigrant in Gloucester, Massachusetts on child sex crime charges. All right, you got to play that up, man. Yeah, this is what happens, though. I'm sure every single one of these rich gated community dwellers thought that this would never happen in their backyard. It's just that those unwashed pores are gonna have to deal with it. No, not anymore. I'm glad we're seeing more of this. This really is the best strategy. When you have someone that doesn't care about your problems because it's not their problems, you make your problems their problems, and then suddenly they're going to care. Careful who you do that with, though, because some people, you do that with them and they're just going to view you as a problem to solve. Got to be careful. But hey, progress can be made.